I am not going to be physically attacked by him or anybody else.
Hey!
You all right?
What you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you?
Basically, we got a call of a disturbance, possible fight. So when we arrived, there was a large crowd, and there was another male that definitely was not part of the crowd, separate from everybody. Apparently, he had been in a disturbance with a taxi driver, and the taxi driver just kicked him out right in front of this club downtown after it was closed. This group was still kind of hanging out.
Sit down. Hey.
Sit down, partner, sit down.
He was told several times by me to move on down the road. He stepped toward me several times. I told him.
For what?
Huh?
What's he trying to do?
He just
Get up
kept
on you,
getting
like-
in my personal space. I told him to move on down the road.
He was becoming very aggressive with several other people. He got very close to one of her friends, and she, in her mind, thought that he was going to physically attack her. So she grabbed him from behind and actually threw him down without even getting out of the wheelchair motorized cart she was in. Come to find out, after speaking with her for a bit, in previous years she was actually a retired colonel from the U.S. Marine Corps. And apparently that's where she learned a lot of her self-defense tactics.
I am somebody you do not want to mess with.
All right.
I will hurt you. And I will drop you dead if I have to. And
You still stayed with it?
I grabbed him. I put
Yeah, you can probably get rid of that.
I put some mojo on him, basically pressure points
Okay.
to basically paralyze him in place where he couldn't really move.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, look, I am going to let you go, but you are going to start stepping away from us.
When speaking with him instantly, you could tell that, and I could tell, and another officer on scene mentioned it to me as well, that he appeared to be on some type of drug. Our indications were methamphetamine or bath salts. We're seeing a lot of bath salts nowadays. And his eyes were almost like bugging out or coming out of his head. And we did eventually have to detain him in handcuffs after a brief little struggle with him, just due to his failure to comply with us trying to sit down. That was at the point where we didn't know exactly what we had, so we weren't going to instantly just throw him in handcuffs. He was acting strange, but he wasn't acting aggressive towards the officers on scene. You use drugs, man? Do you use drugs tonight?
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes? Those are your drugs?
What?
Well, she said you were mentioning something about meth, asking her for meth or something.
I smoke cigarettes.
Can
What
I
is
stand
this?
up?
No,
Why?
because we've instructed you
I'm
to
in
sit
America. All right.
down. Sit down, partner. Sit down.
down.
Sit down.
Why are we
Put your
fighting?
hands behind your back.
Fine.
Get handcuffed now.
What the?
We were only able to find out about the taxi cab thing through the witnesses on scene, and then eventually contacted that taxi driver and found out that situation. Apparently there had been some kind of disturbance there, that he wanted the cab driver to take a debit card. He did have a debit card or a credit card. The cab driver was telling him that he had that, and he was showing it to him, but the male didn't believe the cab driver. And we actually later dealt with that same ip with the male. He was accused us of stealing his identification and his debit card, and we showed him his wallet as he was getting transported, or prior to that, and all those items were in there.